Hey everybody, welcome back to HitPoint, a less formal, sort of laid-back show where Baku and I like to talk about RPGs, niche news, and basically anything that catches our interest. Baku-san, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. Wow. Good to see you. Well, good to see you again. So
Yeah,
soon, sooner than usual.
yeah.
Wow.
Welcome to a very special episode of HitPoint. Things have just been heating up lately, and as you all know, there's just been such a deluge of news that Baku and I felt that it was imperative that
Hmm.
we go ahead and just kind of put together a little episode, a little extra episode, to help kind of catch us up before, because otherwise Monday's show would just be way too long. So we're doing a
Yeah.
bonus
Mhm.
extra all read all about it kind of headline for this week so far. As a result, we're gonna not really touch too much on the comments from the last video. We're gonna save that for Monday.
Mhm.
But hey, Baku, it's good to see you. Hope you are
Yeah,
having
absolutely.
a wonderful April so far. So welcome. How are
Is
you
it
doing
April
today?
already? What?
Well, I mean, we're recording a little bit extra, but it will be April in a second. So
Oh, right. Sorry. I thought it was like mid-March. Wow, time just flew. Holy
I
crap.
know
It's April already.
it's
I was
crazy
not
how
even
time
aware.
flies. I know.
Wow. So this is why the pollen's killing me. It makes perfect sense now.
It's
It's
all the
April.
it's all the cherry blossom stuff in the air at this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I need to go back and taking my meds.
Baku, what would you say is today's top headline?
The top headline, oh boy, it's gotta be, the Nintendo Switch Pro news. Did you hear about that? Oh my God.
I heard people like talking a little bit about it, but I haven't really. I mean, the Switch
Wow, like
is it's awesome.
it's
It's
huge.
okay.
Yeah.
I haven't.
It's
Yeah,
huge.
catch me up.
It's
Cause
huge.
yeah.
Ooh, months and months of speculation, right? Like
Hmm.
we've got reports from some like economic news from Japan, and then it didn't happen, and we got the
Yeah.
OLED version. But
Hmm.
finally, it seems that the Switch Pro is a real thing now. It's a real boy, right? So check
Wow.
this out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's incredible. So, the Nintendo Switch Pro, according to this Japanese news article, the Pro model will come packing with these amazing hardware, right?
Hmm.
It's going to get a 10-inch, 1080p OLED touchscreen that will allow the device to connect not just a single pair of Joy-Cons,
Yeah.
but two pairs of Joy-Cons. So like stack them up,
Oh.
right?
Oh
Yeah.
wow. So it's like
Yeah.
when you say like a 10-inch, so you're talking about like it's not like 10 inches like that, but it's like two switches like on top of each
Yeah,
other.
yeah. It's like two switches on top of each other.
Okay.
It's actually pretty incredible.
That's
Like just
a
the amount.
Yeah, that's a pretty bold decision, I think.
Yeah, the amount of engineering that goes into it. I mean, I guess that's why it took so long for them to come up with this,
Yeah.
Like, it's not even just about the hardware. I mean, well, it's not even just about the actual hardware, but the design and engineering, the manufacturing. That's gotta be a huge change,
Oh,
right? And I guess
absolutely. Hmm.
yeah, I guess the problem was that there were a lot of fans that are complaining that you can only attach one pair of Joy-Cons to the Switch, and it was a big, deal breaker. They
Yeah.
wanted two pairs
Oh yeah.
on the Switch. Yeah.
Of course,
So
because I mean, you've
yeah,
got
yeah.
like, I mean, the average household has like 2.5 children or something like that. So like,
Yeah,
if
something like that.
if you're just gonna be playing like, if it's a Nintendo Switch, if you don't have access to the TV, how are you gonna play multiplayer, right? So just being
Exactly,
able to like
exactly.
hold it between the two of you, I feel like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a bold decision.
No,
Uh,
I think it's very
mhm.
smart. Well, sad for that point 0.5 child though, still can't get to play the game, but
I mean,
you
if
get to
they
watch.
just had one more half of a Joy-Con.
If only, maybe in the next revision they can like stack another one on top, so it'll be like two pairs and then like one Joy-Con on top of the system. But
Yeah.
we'll see. But yeah, it's gonna be 1080p OLED, which is pretty incredible. But that's not all, right? Like
Hmm.
that's just the portable mode.
Yeah.
Once you dock it in, like things gets crazy, right? Because now it can output native K resolution
I'm sorry,
instead of
you cut out native how much?
8K.
No way.
8K,
Whoa.
8K, count it, not 4K,
That's
8K
huge.
resolution.
That is
Exactly. Wow,
that's
right?
I heard that the PlayStation 5 could do like a theoretic like 8K. Uh,
Ah,
that's what I've heard. But I mean,
yeah,
that's
8K at like 30 FPS.
yeah. But the Switch Pro, holy moly, man,
Yeah,
8K
yeah.
in dock mode.
8K native in
Oh,
dock mode,
that's
and this is
insane.
all
Hmm.
yeah, no, and this is all thanks to, like, a custom NVIDIA 3090 Ti that's, in the dock itself,
Oh yeah,
right? So
no way.
you've got the dock, and then you've got the graphics card that's cramped in there, okay?
Gosh, yeah.
And then yeah, and then the output just comes from the graphics card. Only HDMI though, for some odd reason.
No display
Um
port. Yeah. I
yeah, no
mean,
display port. It's very strange.
sure. Yeah, that's a little
Yeah,
bizarre.
unfortunately for the fans,
Hmm.
it still will not have native Bluetooth headphone support. So you still will need the Nintendo mobile apps to do team chats. It's kind of weird, but I guess when you have all this hardware cramped in to support like two pairs of Joy-Con, you just don't have space for like a Bluetooth controller. So yeah, but hey, you've gotta pick, gotta prioritize the
Yeah.
usage, right?
Oh,
So yeah, so
that's
unfortunate for fans.
that's absolutely incredible. I know people have been waiting for that. I mean, what was it? Forbes was like talking about the Switch Pro like a
Yeah.
year, 2 years ago at this
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
and and usually when Forbes talks about it, it's like it's a sure thing. But then,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Well,
now,
I mean, Forbes is always so late to news, but by the time Forbes talks about it, it's coming, right?
yeah,
But yeah,
exactly.
that didn't happen, right? But now we've got concrete news, verified Japanese article that I personally read and translated, and
Yeah,
that's what it said. And I'm absolutely certain that my translation is correct. Um,
that's awesome, man.
Now, the new version of Switch is slated to be released sometime in 2023
Hmm.
with the asking price of 4,000 US dollars, which sounds about right with the 3090 Ti and the 10-inch native OLED. But, a fair price to ask, I think, for such incredible technology.
Yeah. How much did you say? I was zoning out there for a second.
Or 4,000 US
Oh,
dollar, Derek. Yes.
okay. Okay.
This-
Yeah, 4,000. Okay. Yeah.
4,000.
I
That's
mean,
like two.
for an
Eh,
8K machine though, I mean,
yeah.
I think
Come
that's pretty
on.
reasonable.
Chump change, 4,000.
I
That's
mean,
like 2
hey,
tax returns, you know? That's yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Depending
That's
on
like
your
a kidney.
taxes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, hey, if you're going to be paying that much for a scalper priced console anyway, may as well give it to Nintendo this time, right?
Well, funny that you mentioned about scalpers. So Nintendo wishes all the fans the best of luck in acquiring one of these bad boys at MSRP, as scalpers are expected to do what they do best at being horrible people.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Good luck,
glad.
fans.
Yeah. That's just the world we live in at this point, and it's nice of Nintendo to at least acknowledge the plight of
Yeah,
the true
yeah.
believer fans out there. I'm sure that those who are like real Nintendo bros will just
Mhm.
they'll figure it out. They'll find out a way to make sure they get that.
Yeah, I'm just glad that they're really thinking of us consumers. That's rare in today's like corporate environment.
Hmm.
They
Oh
they
yeah.
they're really thinking of us. So I appreciate that from Nintendo. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah. Um, so that's all for the Nintendo Switch Pro. Are you excited to see this?
Oh man, yeah, I am actually. I'm not looking forward to having to get an 8K capture card though. Holy cow. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know. I don't know if they make those yet, actually. So I might.
I
I mean,
I think it's only 4K, yeah, 4K capture, but well, actually, no, I think they do have something like 8K capture, actually. Yes, yes,
do they
yes.
really?
Uh,
Okay.
yeah. I think I remember watching like a Linus like tech tip thing where they were like talking about like a $15,000 8K capture thing or something or another. But and what's another like 15,000?
This
Chump
is
change,
this would be a
chump
real
change.
great time to mention my Patreon helps support the show, and the acquisition
Absolutely.
of new devices to help capture the highest of fidelity of visuals. Did Nintendo have any announcements for like their launch titles that they anticipate? Any RPGs that I have to be aware of?
That's funny that I think they only talked about the hardware, so unfortunately
Okay.
nothing on yeah, but any hardware that well, any hardware, any games that is supported in the current Switch will be supported. I don't know how they upscale everything, but hey, I'm not a game developer, so we'll see what they do.
hopefully by the time that there's an RPG that's been produced and released for it, I'll have
Hmm.
the 16,000 for that capture card.
Ooh,
Whew.
you know what would be good for that? Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Oh
I
my
bet
god,
you that they're developing that, so that it would be the new Switch Pro friendly.
that
I
would
100% certain. Yeah, it's
that
gonna
would
be
be
8K. Wow.
my
It's gonna be
god.
incredible. Yeah. I
All
can't
right.
wait.
Well, I mean, there's always private loans.
I do have 2 kidneys, so, I'll be
Yeah.
okay.
So I do have a follow-up story for one of our previous headlines that we talked about. So remember the
Okay.
other day we talked about Square Enix's they petitioned fans basically for feedback
Mhm.
about Babylon's Fall. Uh, so
Yes.
so so
Uh,
Square Enix has they've produced a follow-up for their shareholders in fact. And
mhm.
they've released a little PowerPoint presentation with like a roadmap for
Oh,
the
wow.
changes that
Okay.
they intend to employ. So
Mhm.
I'll just kind of read from the the thing here, the
Oh, yeah,
article.
sure. Not a problem. Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, following their 314 questionnaire in which Square Enix gathered feedback from fans for
Mhm.
an entire 5-day stretch, Square Enix has released a statement in an apparent attempt to model themselves after the cyberpunk method. I guess
Mhm.
that's kind of like an industry like standard now, as to like here's our here's the things we acknowledge we did bad. Here's what we're gonna do to make it better,
Mhm.
and try to salvage the situation a bit.
I appreciate them for trying.
So the official statement from Square Enix follows this. We're deeply troubled by and apologetic to our shareholders for the poor performance of Babylon's Fall thus far.
Mhm.
Okay.
Right.
We've been hard at work gathering ideas from the greatest crowdsourced focus group we could assemble within 5 days and zero funding. After data mining the responses for predetermined keywords and mapping
Hmm.
them into a key driver analysis quadrant chart, we have determined
Mm.
exactly which graphics need to be improved for to increase our net promoter score among
Okay.
our target demographics. See what
Mhm.
they did?
Wow.
Cheeky.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
so
Yeah.
they said, please see the attached PowerPoint presentation for details. And I'll go ahead and share my screen so you can kind of see this because I've got it pulled up
Yes.
here. Uh,
Absolutely. Okay.
all right. So let me see if you can see this here. Okay.
Wow. They put in a lot of if only they put in that much time in making this game.
hmm So it's just a very short thing. So this is presumably have been have a presenter in front
Mhm.
of the crowd, like as they would deliver these.
Yeah,
So
you can be our presenter, Derek.
yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah. So let's go ahead and so this is Babylon's Fall Investor Summit 2022. Square Enix, very
Mhm.
official, nice looking, beautiful. They definitely worked on their graphics for this one. Um,
Yeah.
so let's just move this along to the first slide here. So roadmap, they say
Mhm.
everybody knows that the adventure begins with a first step, and that step can be very perilous and a tricky one. Just kind of warming the crowd up, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so make sure you have a roadmap. It says this GI roadmap. I assume that means like graphic improvement roadmap has been
Mm.
meticulously crafted to stimulate uh, uh, ROI for
Oh, okay.
shareholders. Sorry, it was a
Return
little
on investment. Yes,
yeah. I
yes,
couldn't
yes.
I couldn't quite make out that. Okay, but I see
Yeah, I
it now.
wasn't sure if that's an I or an L. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Return on investment for all show. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Sure. Makes sense.
And the dates are not final yet. So everybody at home who's playing, all three of you who are playing right now, don't expect hard dates here. These are still a work in progress, but this is at least
Mhm.
going to give you a preview of what to expect here along the road.
Mhm.
So May of 2022. So I guess one of the main keywords that they pulled out was story
Mm.
this thing. So they're going to improve the story graphics. Um,
Mm.
I'm not entirely sure what story graphics are, but apparently those need a bit of reworking, and Square Enix is going to be fixing the graphics of the
Yeah.
story, I guess.
Well, the advanced algorithm does not lie. So if it says story requires graphics
Mhm.
update, then that's what it is.
I mean, you and I both work in software development, so these things that they are gathering from the key driver analysis and all that, like this
Yeah.
is that's like a really big thing in the industry,
Yeah,
a-
absolutely.
and basically these are basically going to be handed to the developers, like the graphic
Mhm.
designers,
Yeah.
and they'll suss out like what needs to be done. So that's
Yeah. They'll figure it out. They're
mhm.
they're 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 professionals. Yeah.
All right. So then, following the May update here, we're going to be doing
Mhm.
one in June, which is, by the way, May and June, very quick turnarounds for this sort of thing.
Right.
Um,
Wow. I'm
Gameplay
very
graphics
impressed.
improvements are scheduled
Mhm.
for the June of 2022. Okay,
Mhm.
so
Wow.
gameplay graphics, I guess that has to also be some sort of keyword that came up a lot during the data mining process, the
Mhm.
exploration phase. So,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and I think that might mean, like maybe flashier moves and stuff. It's hard to say, you
You
know.
know, maybe the sword's a little blurry. Just a touch more pixels on the swords, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
just add some more
Yeah.
pixels.
The
That
equipments, yeah.
sure, sure. Um,
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay.
Okay, and then we have the quarter three. So this is a
Mhm.
little longer term, a little vaguer because as you move further out, it's harder to nail down exactly when.
Well, that's a lot of gameplay, so yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that.
So Q3 is going to be the zippers overhaul. So just more
Oh.
zippers in more places. So
Mhm.
I think that we can probably assume that some famous people are going to be involved in this revamping. Uh,
Mm.
so we can only kind of speculate though about what that might be. But that's what we got. And then for Q4 of 2022, it's just a slide that says It's just a slide that says, I don't know, make Yoshi P fix it. LOL. So I don't really
Wow.
but so I'm not entirely sure what that means, but that could
Mhm.
be any number of fixes from Yoshi P. I didn't know that he was a graphic designer, but I mean, it's yeah. It is what
Well,
it is. But speaking of Yoshi P, in
mhm.
unrelated news, unfortunately, it's been reported that Yoshi P has been admitted to a hospital after an apparent concussion from like banging on his head on a desk surface repeatedly or
Ah.
something. I don't. It's the details are still developing. So
You know, you should send me the news article from Japan because it might be in Japanese. Let me take a look at it. Maybe I can suss out what they are actually talking about.
mhm.
Medical terms could be super
Vague. Yeah,
jargony.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
so we'll be sure to update you all on the latest on Yoshi P's medical condition,
yeah.
and
I
we
hope
all
for the
wish him the
best,
best.
for
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, so is that what you got? Man, that is interesting. I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, it was just meant for like some investors and a very inner
yeah.
circle sort of thing. Like I think that they're
Mhm.
hoping to do like a bigger, like once they nail down more specifics and more dates.
Yeah.
But right now it's still kind of like, bird's eye view of the whole situation, and then
Mhm.
because obviously they've got to reinvigorate investors, otherwise,
Yeah. Yeah. But
otherwise,
they are a
yeah,
corporation after all,
it's
so
true.
it's what it is.
Mhm.
But man, actually very excited for more zippers. Like I haven't played Babylon 4. I don't know if you have, but
Mhm.
I've tried a little bit, and the first thing that came to my mind was, they could just really use a little bit more zippers. Like
It needs
that.
a little extra zip, if you know.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
That's
And I get, look, I get having 4 weapons, 5 weapons, all these weapons. That's cool. And Platinum games in it, but zippers is what brings people to playing your games. I
yeah,
mean, we've seen it happen. More zippers you add, the better the game sells. It's just industry facts. I can't believe they didn't think of this to begin with.
yeah.
So
It's kind of mind-boggling, actually, the
yeah.
the lack thereof of zippers. But that's it. Classic Square Enix.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They just needed the fans to tell them the obvious. It's always the case. I just don't understand.
Yeah. So, what do you got?
Well,
What do you got next here, man?
speaking of Yoshi P, I guess this makes perfect sense leading from what you just said, because it didn't make sense to me too much at first, but now it makes sense. So this news is related to Final Fantasy 14. Due to the
Oh,
increased workload from Final Fantasy 16, and I guess now with the medical condition, Naoki Yoshida, also known as Yoshi P, um, has now stepped down as the director of Final Fantasy
Oh
14.
my god.
Wow, that makes perfect sense now.
Uh,
Wow, yeah, it didn't make sense to me before because I'm just like, he could do Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 14. Like, I believe in the man.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so yep, nope, that makes perfect sense. Um, so coming into the void, to be the new Final Fantasy 14 director, will be none other than series veteran Tetsuya Nomura,
Oh
who
my.
has,
That's
yeah,
okay. That's exciting.
yeah.
It's gonna shake things up quite a bit. Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Nomura has been expressing his interest to Square Enix executives for a long time now and taking over. I mean, and lending a hand in
Hmm.
the project. So now, during a recent interview with Famitsu, Nomura expressed his excitement in heading yet another major Square Enix project and said that there will be major revision to the artistic style in the
Oh wow.
upcoming expansion. Yeah, it's got to be exciting. I love Nomura's art. So, for example, the number of belts and zippers in every NPC will be expected to triple.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
we were
perfect.
just talking about zippers before.
Yeah, the
Zippers,
zipper
zippers,
update.
zippers.
Got to
Yeah,
make it
no,
zippy. That's right.
yeah, but on top of that, they're also gonna triple the amount of belts, and I thought that was an incredible, audition that only Nomura
Hmm.
would be able to think of that.
Can
Like,
I just say
yeah,
brave?
yeah, absolutely,
Very brave.
absolutely. I am so excited. All the NPC suit sizes will also increase by a size and a half, to really complete that clown look. Um, Nomono also felt that the bad guys that's been showcased so far in the game has been a little too exciting,
Hmm.
right? So he just wants to tone them all down by a bit to make them feel, a little bit more generic and uninteresting.
Okay.
I thought that's a welcoming change. I mean, how else are you supposed to make the main character, the players really shine,
Yeah.
if the bad guys are too interesting, right?
Oh,
So
for sure.
I thought that was, an incredible insight that only a longtime game veteran could come up with. Like, I certainly couldn't have thought of that.
No.
Yeah, and changes are expected to come as soon as the next expansion that will hit in 2023. So look forward to that, everybody.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's got a lot of work
yeah,
to do. That's a
yeah,
really big role that he's taking on from Yoshi P. And God,
yeah,
it's kind of an interesting shakeup, really. I
yeah.
hope to see him do well in this new role. I'm sure that he will. And
I'm
and
sure that he will.
and with Yoshi P working on the other project, that's just
Yeah,
yeah. Wow.
yeah. I mean, look, if anyone could take over a project and make it work, it's got to be Tetsuya Nomura, right? So we've
Oh
seen it
yeah.
happen before. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely,
I
absolutely.
mean, Nomura
Yeah,
sells units. We know that for a fact.
yeah,
Like,
absolutely. Yeah,
I mean,
it doesn't much matter, what the game he touches. They just sell. So yeah,
Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy
Kingdom
VII.
Hearts.
Uh, uh,
Yeah,
what more do you need than that, really?
yeah,
So
really. Yeah. Now, I've always said that I would never play an MMO, but man, if you're gonna add all these belts and zippers, I think I'm going to have to give it a shot.
yeah,
I'm gonna give, yeah,
I can already
yeah.
tell
It's
that
convinced me.
with the belts and zippers, especially, I can tell that this is going to have the proper support to support
Mhm.
a nice story as well as a solid pair of trousers
Yeah.
and the zippers to hold everything together, and keep it from
It,
just
it's a
falling apart at the
passion
seams.
project.
Hmm.
It's brave. It is unconventional.
Yeah,
I'm just so excited for this.
that's
I don't know if you
incredible.
can tell. Yeah.
Man, what a crazy shakeup it's been at Square Enix.
I know. Like,
It's like they're
man.
finally listening. They're finally listening to us, man.
Yes, yes, and after Life Alive and, all that crazy games coming, they're
Yeah,
really listening now.
I think they've got
Um
their what's that, the finger on the pulse. I think of
oh, absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
I mean, you know what really helps is, again, just doing more of these graphical surveys that last exactly 5 days and using those algorithms. That's how they are managing to catch up with
Oh
all
yeah,
the fans, like, wants and needs now.
yeah.
I think they should do more of those, absolutely.
It's like they said, everybody knows it's the old saying, the old adage. In order to solve a problem, first you have to poll your audience for 5 days and no longer.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and I
Mhm.
think that's a brilliant saying.
Yeah.
All right, and that's what I've got for Final Fantasy 14. Everything makes sense now. Everything makes sense
It,
now.
it
Okay.
it's crazy how that just kind of clicks together.
Yeah.
I found this piece of news actually pretty interesting.
Okay.
So we got some news for E3 this year, coming
Oh,
coming from Bethesda Studios actually.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, so
Bethesda.
yeah,
Okay.
Bethesda. You wouldn't have expected them to be talking about E3 at this point, but I mean,
Hmm.
there's no time to drum up interest than the present, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so this one comes from Todd Howard of Bethesda. So this is actually in an interview. So he reviewed in an interview with Business Insider that Bethesda Softworks recently, Bethesda Softworks is a recently acquired game developer acquired by Microsoft. They're planning a strategic leak of an additional game in the long running Elder Scrolls series. So,
Ooh, okay. Well,
mhm,
I've never played that one, but I know there are a lot of fans out here,
mhm.
especially a lot of listener, I bet, big
Oh
fans of the
yeah,
series.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Elder Scrolls goes way back. Elder Scrolls 1, or Arena, back on DOS, Daggerfall, Elder
Mhm.
Scrolls 3 is, I think, where I really started gaining interest in the series. So Elder Scrolls 3 was obviously the first console
Right,
version that
right,
came to Xbox, and then you had Oblivion, and now Skyrim,
right.
and then Skyrim, and then Skyrim. But
Yeah.
so he says, a quote, we hear the internet comedy jokes on Reddit, and it hurts, said
Mhm.
Howard. Uh, but we understand that it's valid criticism. We haven't
Mm.
released a new mainline Elder Scrolls game in over a decade. We've
Has it been that long?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Skyrim
Yeah.
came out on 11/11/11, so that
Mhm.
was 12 years ago. Now they've released the Elder Scrolls Online, but people have really been looking for that next single player experience, myself
Right.
included. And he says we've already famously announced the Elder Scrolls 6 at E3 in 2018. So that's E3 almost 4 years ago. They announced it and
Mhm.
showed off the title Elder Scrolls 6. Uh,
Mhm.
and he says, and we're not stupid. It would be ridiculous to announce yet another Elder Scrolls game at E3 2022 when we
Mhm.
haven't released Elder Scrolls 6 yet. So
Right.
we'll leak it instead, he said. So when pressed on what exactly that means, Howard said, announcements are so 2018. Why would we bother going through the effort of curating and crafting a very specific message when we have no credibility in 2022? But
Oh,
leaks,
that makes
though,
sense.
leaks are credible by definition. They're easier and they tend to get more traction anyway. So,
That's true. That is true.
and
Yeah.
and got to give due diligence to Business Insider for this follow up question. Why not just leak information about Elder Scrolls 6 though? And he says, well, there's just really not anything to leak yet, honestly. So
Absolutely.
Elder Scrolls 6, I'm sorry, Elder Scrolls 7 has been planned. They're planning to really to leak the announcement of it being in production at some
Mm.
point. So just keep
Eh.
your ears open during E3 this year, not during the press conference, but just in the general buzz, and
Yeah.
yeah. I,
You
I
know,
suspect that the
I
leak will probably only include the title of the game, but I mean, what more
mhm.
do you really need?
I mean, is it gonna be Skyrim 2 or Skyrim 3 or
It could be. It could be. You
Skyrim
don't know.
4?
Yeah, it could be Skyrim 4. It's just, I mean, yeah, who knows? I mean, they could go into gosh, I'm really interested in, like, there's this place, the Black Marsh, where the
Mhm,
Argonians are from. I'm really hoping that it's going to take place there. Unfortunately, we
mhm.
won't know about that for at least 10 more years, I think. So,
Yeah, no, with the development schedule, that sounds about realistic. I am in 100% agreement. Wow, wow, wow.
mhm.
I think that more game companies need to take note of what Bethesda's doing right now. And in fact, why do these flashy showcase at all when really it's just so much more cost effective just to hire an intern and type something in Reddit?
Yeah,
you
just leak
know?
something.
Yeah, just yeah.
It just
They'll get
works.
reshared.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
works.
Or like
So
a rogue tweet somewhere that's completely
yeah,
planned and not at all like rogue, like
uh-huh,
that's how you connect with the Gen Z crowd. Come on.
exactly.
Like yeah,
Yeah.
I wow. That is brilliant. That is brilliant.
So, but I mean, obviously,
Um
there's just not that much yet to go on. But keep your eyes peeled and ears peeled during E3 this year.
mhm.
Yeah,
Well, I hope that they have enough information to fill a 200-word tweet at least.
I hope so. We'll see.
200 characters, not 200 words, 200 character tweet. I mean, that's uh, should be okay. Bethesda, I believe in you.
I believe
I
in
believe in
Bethesda too, especially
you.
now.
Yeah. Okay. So did you want to go ahead with some more news? Because man, we've got a lot of news to cover still.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's move
Okay.
this train along here.
Alrighty. So, this next piece of news, involves yet another game that I don't play. I don't know if you play. Are you a big Smash fan, Derek? Do you
Uh,
do you like playing Smash, Smash
last
Bro?
the last time I was really into Smash was Melee, so it's been a
Mhm.
long time actually.
Yeah, I see. I had never really gotten to Smash because there all these graphics and moving things. Just like it just hurts my eyes and my
It's a
brain
bit
can't process. Yeah,
it's a
it's
bit
just
much to
so much
take in.
things going on. Yeah, it's just too exciting. Plus, I have no friends to
Mhm.
play, so you know. But
That
hey,
hits close to
look,
home, but okay.
yeah, just a bit, just a bit. But I do want to share some Smash news with all of our viewers because even though it's not an RPG, I know, but a lot of you guys love Smash. In fact,
There's a lot
you
of
know,
crossover with RPGs. You know, you got the
oh,
hero from Dragon Quest,
absolutely. Mhm.
Ness.
Yeah.
You got God, Roy and Marth from Fire Emblem. Like, oh yeah, you got there's a lot of crossover here.
Yeah. So what's interesting is that so what's interesting is that Xenoblade Chronicles 2,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
It didn't initially sell like too well. I mean, it sold well for what it is, but once like the new Smash game came out, was Smash Ultimate, right? Once that came out, and then they did a review trailer for Pirate Mythra, then all of a sudden all the Smash Bros are like, "Whoa, who's that chick? Who are those babes?" And then
Hmm.
they
Yeah, yeah,
discovered Xenoblade 2,
yeah.
and then now try getting a copy of Xenoblade 2. Try getting a physical copy.
You
It's
can't do it.
expensive. Yeah, no, it's just ridiculous. And I happen to actually, this is a true story. I happen to pick up the limited edition right before the announcement, maybe like about a month or so. And I managed to pick up a limited edition for like 100 some dollars because like no one's really buying it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And then afterwards, it was like $200-300 for the limited edition, which is insane. So I
yeah.
got lucky. The art book's amazing. So a great game, but we're derailing. So okay, so check this out, right? So it looks like Smash will be adding new characters after all, right? After the series director Masahiro Sakurai said that there will be no more fighters. There will be no more fighters.
Sure, sure.
Due to ravenous fan demands, Sakurai has finally come out of hiding and announced new fighters for the hit game, Super Smash Bros.
Oh,
Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch. Yeah, I know, exciting.
oh,
New
this is
fighters,
huge.
finally. Yeah. There will be 8 new fighters coming
Hmm.
from a variety of media franchises, and they will be released as DLC fighters, slowly rolling out over the course of, like Q4 2022 into early 2023.
Yeah.
So about like an 8-month span, they tend to do like one character per month, right? And they have already pre-announced which characters they will be. So here they are.
Oh wow.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, they don't wanna keep the fans rating. I think they're sending death threats and whatnot, but,
Yeah, yeah. Makes
yeah.
sense.
So, as they do. So here are the characters. Kazuma Kiryu from the Yakuza series,
Ooh.
wielding his signature katana, Sakura Storm. Super awesome. Yeah. So he's going to be using his katana as his main weapon. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Scorpion from Mortal Kombat series.
Oh, I
Yeah,
can't wait to
right.
see some
Are you
fatalities.
right? Get
Oh,
over here. Yeah. But like family friendly
yeah, yeah,
fatality.
yeah. I mean,
Oh,
sure.
what was it? A friend, what
Friendality, friendship.
friendship. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be a
yeah.
lot of friendship going on. I just know it. Um
Or animalities, maybe.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Something
yeah.
like that. Something less, Mortal Kombat,
Sure,
probably
sure.
suitable for. I cannot wait. That
You can't just pull the spine out of Ness.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
I
maybe.
I'm sure some of us would like to. Have you fought Ness?
Yes, I am Ness.
um. Yeah. So again, Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. He will oddly be fighting with a ninja sword. That's an interesting choice of weapon for him.
Yeah.
Nemesis from Resident Evil series, who will
Yeah.
also be fighting with what looks like a sword or a pipe or something.
Sure.
Um,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, the
Uh,
Smash Bros needs more characters with swords, so I mean, it makes sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. Steve from Minecraft, who will be
Oh.
utilizing the diamond armor and sword. Super
Huh.
cool. Yeah, Steve from Minecraft will be joining Super Smash Bro.
All right.
um, yeah. This is really cool. Alvin from Tales of Arise. More swords.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, and then
Sweet.
these next two will be from the same series. It's gonna be A2 and 2B from Near Automata, the game that you still haven't played, because more swords. And
Yeah.
and last but not
Hmm.
least, we're gonna have Keanu Reeves gonna join us as the last fighter, and this is notable because it's like a real person, right? Being sent to, but it's not the first time Keanu has been digitalized and sort of turned into a character in games. So I'm super excited to see Keanu Reeves doing like hover hands, and what have you, signature moves. He will
Yeah.
also be wielding a sword for battle. So pretty cool stuff. Sakurai commented that he
Hmm.
has heard the fans loud and clear. The game needs more diversity in the fighters, and particularly characters with swords.
Yeah.
So hey, you guys asked for it.
Uh,
He's delivering it. Yeah, he
I
he heard all of you guys.
I suspect, and this is true that Sakurai might be a little burnt out because I
Just a tad.
I don't know if he knows this, but Steve from Minecraft is already a Smash Bros. Ultimate character.
Is he really?
He is
Wow.
indeed.
I guess
So
I guess it's Steve too.
he must. Maybe it's the Alex. Is that the name of the girl from? I mean,
Oh, you know what? That's gotta be it.
I'm sure
Yeah,
that's
no,
he
I
must.
no. Yeah, no, that's gotta be it. Yeah, no. I mean, because it just says Minecraft main character, so I thought it was Steve. Oh, Steve's already in the game. See, I don't play the game, right?
Yeah.
No, it makes perfect sense. Okay.
Okay.
So
Cool.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
Complete the set. Mhm.
unfortunately, Waluigi, I'm glad you caught that. Unfortunately for fans, Waluigi will still be absent. He is not part of the roadmap. So
Nobody wants him
sorry.
anyway.
Yeah. Well, everybody's here except for Waluigi.
Yeah.
But if he were to be involved, he would definitely be wielding a sword too. You bet.
I'm positive.
I'm positive too.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
that's incredible news. You know what else is incredible news? We have yet again another sponsor. So
Oh yes.
yeah, today we've been sponsored by Noggin. They've prepared just a little thing for us to go ahead and play. So
Mhm.
I'll just play that for us here.
You just took a DNA test. Turns out you're 100% at risk for a case of retrograde amnesia. Are you a bland, nondescript, and eligible bachelor with doughy eyes and a thin skull? You too could have a genetic predisposed risk of sudden retrograde amnesia.
I can't remember anything.
But there's hope. Our patented Noggin Knocker Blocker is here to help. You don't have to wander through life not knowing what you're missing out on, who to turn to, or what your name is. Noggin Knocker Blocker is currently available at all participating hard-hitted haberdasheries. Noggin Knocker Blocker. because life is too short for, I don't remember.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how you scored that one. So
Yeah.
Derek's working magic in the background. I mean, first dude, now this.
Yeah. All right. So
Yeah.
yeah, the guys at Noggin Knocker Blocker, or rather Noggin, who make the
Mhm.
Noggin Blocker,
Mhm.
they've been hard at work researching solutions to this problem that we talked about the other day. So
Yeah, we
yeah, the
did.
other day we spoke about the prevalence of amnesia among RPG protagonists, and
Mhm.
it's just they've been hard at work coming up with a solution for this. And after they heard us discussing it in a very real and meaningful way in our last podcast, they decided that this would be the podcast that they would choose to sponsor their big grand unveiling of this
Hmm.
noggin blocker, knocker
Wow.
blocker rather. So
Okay.
huge thank you to Noggin for sponsoring today's very special episode of HitPoint. If you find
Thank you.
yourself concerned with the prospect of amnesia, please follow the link in this video's description and use promo code Bonku-san JRPG to save some cash on your order.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's gonna be 10% off. Right? 10% off? Yeah. Is that what they said?
I don't remember.
Oh, well, that sucks because I can't remember either. Anyways, yeah, no, so, but definitely, hey, you know what? This is considered a medical device, so consider using your HSA if you have one of those,
Yes.
so that you're not paying out of pocket. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You gotta use your HSA.
And
Yeah,
don't slack on your preventative care, guys.
yeah, absolutely,
That's using your
absolutely.
noggin.
Use your noggin. Um,
Noggin knocker blocker.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. Oh man. Oh wow. I cannot wait until they send out that sample. I would love to just try it on for size.
Yeah.
And just, go on my own little adventure and see if I get into, it would be great if I can just remember things for once.
I know. Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. Like it's just like every time I go somewhere, I'm like, what was I doing here?
Yeah.
What
No,
was it?
like
It's just what was
like
what's
I
my name
do
again? It's just
I go to I mean, does this ever happen to you? Like you go grocery shopping and then you walk in and then you just suddenly just like can't remember why you're there.
or what a grocery store is.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's just a pervading issue. Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Absolutely.
Um, so where were we again?
Um I think you have a news story.
Huh. Okay. Let me. Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. So another news story that I'd like to share with you all is oh boy, so this one is exciting. Oh man, and it's just so much news, so much long anticipated news. This one here's another zinger. So you were talking about what's that game called?
Babylon's Fall?
Oblivion,
Oh yeah,
Skyrim.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
The
yeah,
Oblivion,
yeah, yeah.
Skyrim, etc.
Yeah, yeah, all those games, like we've waited a long time for a new title for those games.
Yeah.
Here's another game that we've been waiting for a long time. Half-Life 3, guys. Half-Life 3 is
Oh my
finally
god.
coming. Right.
No
Half-Life
way.
3 is not yeah, no, seriously. If Half-Life 3 is finally coming.
Oh my
It's
god.
like, wow, like I'm like, I saw this and I was like, hey, Derek, we need to do an extra show. Like, do you know what? Honestly, this is what prompted me to reach out to Derek. It's like,
Mhm.
we need to do an extra show because
Yeah.
this is just huge. So maybe when you asked me for the headline, I should set that. But I don't want to give it away. I was just talking about Nintendo.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
no, the
yeah.
true headline is Half-Life 3. So Half-Life 3 has finally been greenlit. President Gabe Newell took the stage himself for the announcement, which is crazy. It was
Mhm.
huge, and the internet was just in an uproar. I'm sure all of you guys have heard about it. The new game will be a 2D Japanese style turn-based RPG with time traveling mechanics.
Oh my god, that sounds
Amazing. Yes.
incredible.
Yes, yes. Like I wasn't interested in the series before, but when you
No.
tell me 2D Japanese style turn-based RPG, time traveling, I'm
Yes.
like, whoa, I
This
I
is
need to know more. Okay, so check this out.
yeah.
During the presentation, so the game follows the protagonist Gordon Freeman. he continues this battle against the Combine, which are sort of like the intergalactic bad guys that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, you see in Half-Life 2.
Mhm.
And during the presentation, Gabe said that he felt, and I quote, the silent nature of Gordon Freeman will work particularly well as a JRPG protagonist. And I agree. I agree. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, where else would you have silent protagonists if not JRPG? So yeah, no, I think it's a marriage made in heaven.
Yeah.
Half-Life 3, Japanese style turn-based RPG, just amazing. Now here we've got some confirmed playable party members. Okay,
Mhm.
we've got Adrian Shepard
Oh,
from
yeah.
Half-Life Opposing Force. We've got Barney Calhoun from Half-Life Blue Shift. We've got, I believe her name is Alex Vance from Half-Life 2.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
also, and this is crazy, GLaDOS from Portal.
Oh,
Because, you know,
crowd favorite.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I guess you just can't have a sci-fi RPG without a robot friend, you know?
yeah.
So wow, it's crazy. And this game is actually coming a lot sooner than you think. Expect this to roll out as a 2023 Steam exclusive.
Wow.
I know. Big news, right? Like,
Oh,
when did Half-Life 2 even come? Like 2004? It was like such a long time ago,
it's been
right? But
some time.
it's been some time, but I guess, you know, they were just waiting for the perfect opportunity to release a JRPG. You know, like my guess, honestly, Derek, is that there's been kind of like a JRPG revival, and they were just
Absolutely.
biding their time. Like Gabe
Mhm.
was just biding his time.
He was
He was
waiting
waiting.
for
He was waiting
the
for the right moment.
yeah,
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
waiting for
yeah.
the culture surrounding JRPGs to change before releasing what he had already been planning from the start, obviously.
Yeah, you know, the last, like, 15 years or so, he's just been waiting for the day.
I
He's
mean,
just been waiting to
I
announce it.
can't blame him though. I mean,
Yeah.
look back to 2003 to
Yeah,
2015, right? It was a
yeah,
pretty dark age for JRPGs, Japanese RPGs. Can
absolutely.
you name one
Final
like a
Fantasy
really good
came
one?
out during those years, maybe? I
Like
don't know.
yeah, like
Yeah,
a Final
Tales
Fantasy
of Game
13, like
somewhere? Yeah.
13. Yeah,
Mm,
like it's just a dark day. Don't look too closely at it. It's just
yeah,
I mean, this is a dark age. I mean,
yeah, it really
today is
was. It
a
was very
very
dry.
bright day. Gonna
Oh, yeah,
reinvigorate the series. Maybe that's why Square Enix is in fact trying so hard to turn around
yeah,
Babylon's Fall because
yeah.
they see this on the horizon about to revolutionize the genre and well,
Wow, yeah. No, Square Enix, man, Valve's coming for you. Valve's coming for you. And
100%.
I bet you they're gonna do time traveling correctly, you know?
Mhm.
Like, they're
Yeah.
just
I mean,
so
Squaresoft
scientific about it.
yeah, Squaresoft has never really done anything like well with time travel, in my opinion. So like,
It never.
so this is gonna be Steam This is gonna be Valve's opportunity to really
Mhm.
just show us what
Yes.
a real time
A
travel JRPG,
real
a real
yes,
time travel Japanese RPG is all about.
yes, with a silent protagonist.
Yeah,
It's gonna be great. Yeah,
with
absolutely.
yeah, with a robot friend. How cool!
With a robot friend,
That's so
yeah,
unique.
GLaDOS.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I know, like, I don't think it's ever been done, to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah.
I am so stoked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Revolutionary.
what I'm really hoping that they would do is that they would be able to, you know, travel along and go to different time period and actually have, you know, effect on, you know, like if I go to like a dinosaur age, for example, right? I don't know,
Oh man.
it will affect like the modern time perhaps and in the future. I don't know. Crazy idea. I know.
Yeah. I might be asking a bit much.
It
But that would be
might
super
be.
cool.
It
That'd be
might be.
super cool
It
though.
might be. It might be. Yeah. You know, here's one. How about, you know, if the party members can do some kind of like a combination attack, you know, like depending on what characters you have in the party. That would just be super awesome. And I don't know.
I don't know if
Have they
that
ever done
I,
that?
I don't know if that could work, honestly.
Yeah. Well,
It
I
sounds
mean,
it sounds like a bit of a stretch, but I mean that'd be pretty neat.
yeah.
But really what I'm really hoping is that they nail the sci-fi aspect of like you know this intergalactic threat that's been coming after them for
Yeah.
some time. Um
Yes.
yeah, I mean it's just this is a perfect opportunity to like show the giant alien force that's
Oh,
behind everything
absolutely.
and just uh yeah, just show it to be for what it really is behind the outer shell, just really it'd be great.
Absolutely, absolutely. In all its 2D graphics glory, you know?
Hmm.
I'm just hoping that now that they're doing 2D, it might be just a tad easier to do like great sprite arts and just like actually release this game on schedule this time, right? Instead of
Yeah.
delaying it and then ultimately canceling it. But we'll have to wait and see. But it's crazy, crazy big news for all the JRPG fans. I hope you guys are elated.
Yeah. Well, I've got some ground shaking, earth shattering
Oh wow.
news
Okay.
that'll affect
Oh,
the
yeah, as if all the news so far hasn't
I
been
mean,
ground shattering. But yeah, no, please.
so here's something that's it's not coming from any particular studio, but it's very interesting. So it's actually a Japanese research branch who've made a recent discovery and announcement. So I'll just kind of read from this. Japanese researchers at Fingergun Laboratories have stated that they've finally cracked a code for better JRPG characters. So
Wow, okay.
since 2014, Japanese researchers have been hard at work in laboratories to wean the Japanese RPG off of non-renewable JRPG character designs and
Mhm.
scenarios.
Yeah.
So, quote from here's Ryuji Nakamoto says, "We have discovered a new yet untapped source of renewable waifu energy," said
Huh.
Dr. Ryuji Nakamoto of Fingergun Laboratories. He says, "We expect this will help provide energy needed to fuel Japan as we transition away from the non-renewable energies of traumatic head injuries and dead parents." So
Mm.
this new source of energy is not without its critics, though. A spokesperson for Loophole Industries, who wishes to remain anonymous, says that there is still untapped potential in their current stores of their patented semi-renewable tech. Quote,
Mm.
I mean, it's like there are so many applications of our technology we haven't even explored yet. Loophole
Mhm.
Industries is, of course, the laboratory behind the legal lowly source of semi-renewable waifu material. When
Mhm.
pressed for the about the renewability of this resource, he went on about to say how people who rely on our technology don't really care about how it gets renewed. What makes it infinitely, or that's what makes it infinitely renewable, is when it gets old, you can just wave a magic wand literally and make it like new again.
Yeah, wow. That's
So
amazing.
yeah, Fingergun Laboratories has been light on the details of their upcoming renewable JRPG energy source, but hints that it promises to become, quote, as overused as isekai and frankly, half the time.
Mm.
Huge.
Wow, wow, wow. That's this is not even game news anymore. This
I know
is
this is
wow.
this
Wow, this is
is
some science stuff.
foundation shattering, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
wow. Okay.
I don't pretend to understand all the specifics of like renewable energy and how it relates to waifu design and stuff.
Yeah.
But the
It's
fact
it's
that
a lot of jargon. It's a lot of jargon. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's a bit to like
It's a
wrap your
bit,
mind around, but
a bit.
it sounds really revolutionary. And this guy from Loophole Industry, I don't know if I trust him. It sounds a little shady. Sounds a little sketch to
Mhm.
me.
Well, well, here's the thing. If you look at my YouTube list, it's going to be a bunch of VTubers and anime videos, but
Hmm. Hmm.
also cat videos and science videos.
Yeah.
So I am definitely a man of science, and I've actually been following the waifu energy research for quite some time,
Oh, no
right?
kidding.
Yeah, no, it's well, I'm being a weeb and all. I have no choice but
I mean,
to be, but
I didn't actually
I didn't
doubt
hear
you.
this. Yeah, well, I didn't hear this, so that's
Yeah.
crazy that you've caught wind before I did. But man, so yeah, speaking of waifu energy, so we've got the Europe and China are working on fusion energy
Yes.
as the
Yes.
renewable source, and they've been working it for some time. Now, Japan does not have the kind of resources, raw material required to do that sort of reactor, but what they do have is an
Mhm.
abundance of waifus,
Yeah,
right? And
exactly.
for the
Mhm.
longest time, they've been looking for an efficient way to export said waifu. But man, this energy transformation, if sustainable, theoretically would be even more efficient than fusion energy.
Yeah.
And that's huge because now they can be very independent
Yeah.
from the rest of the world.
I mean,
And
and that's the story of Japan, like all its life has been,
yeah,
material scarcity, land scarcity. Like, heck, even one of the most iconic representations of Japanese culture is the katana, which was made from folded steel, which they had to make out of basically sifted sand because they
mhm,
didn't have the natural resources of being able to like just go mine ore and stuff. So it's like
yeah,
so the refining process, the folding process, everything just kind of makes the katana what it is because of the material scarcity, right?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
making
yeah.
making the best that you can with what you have is what Japan does best.
Oh, absolutely. Wow, that's incredible. That's incredible. Well, I gotta find some stocks and invest into this waifu energy thing if they're
Mhm.
coming this close to coming to fruition. So and any timeline on sort of how soon they think this new form of energy can be well, not new per se, but newly realized form. Any timeline?
No timeline as of yet. All that the article has said is that details are sparse. But when it does hit, it'll overtake Isekai in half the time. So I guess that means, we won't have a whole lot of warning for when it happens. But when it does
Mhm.
happen, it's just going to take like a couple of days, and we'll be sick of it. It's going
Yeah.
to be really great.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure we're gonna be sick of hearing it very soon. But
Yeah.
hey, renewable energy, I'm all for that.
Heck yeah.
I'm all for that. Wow, wow, that is groundbreaking. That is groundbreaking. Um, yeah, no, I'm really hoping that America will catch up on the waifu stuff.
I'm sure that they're going to export it very quickly. I mean, we'll be importing it. I mean, independent investors in the technology will definitely be importing it by the boatload. I can
Yeah.
guarantee that as long as it's been made available
Boat,
to us.
boatload of condensed waifu goodness
Hmm.
is what the world needs right now.
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, it aligns with Japan's chief export. You would think that the chief export would be something more conventional, like steel or something, or semiconductor. But no, the chief export as of 2022 is waifus. But it sounds like this is
Hmm.
a way more efficient way of utilizing said waifus, right?
Yeah. Imagine being able to
Yeah.
power a building with just the power of waifu. I mean,
Yeah, no, that is
wow.
that is huge. That is huge. The world has Japan to thank for waifu energy. Bravo,
Hmm. I
bravo.
mean, we've
Um,
all we've all known for a long time that it's waifus that make this world go round, and being able to
it's
harvest
true.
that energy to
Yeah.
power cities and industry. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
incredible.
It makes me feel good that I'll be able to watch my isekai anime powered by waifu fully, all the way from production to just hosting the server and coming all the way to my monitor screen and computer, all waifu powered. That's the future.
Hmm.
That's the
Yeah,
future.
waifu energy is perfect for hosting.
Yeah. Wow. I hope Elon get on that one. Imagine Tesla powered by waifus.
I could imagine that. I think I'm trying to remember the guy's name. I can't remember it now anymore. Uh
See, you should have used that noggin blocking.
mhm.
Should have used the noggin blocking.
Yep, I should have. Shoot. I know somebody has tried powering a vehicle with waifu energy. Um
Oh,
yeah.
did it go
Wubby,
okay?
Pay
Did
Money
it?
Wubby. It was Pay Money Wubby. That's right.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. No, that
Fantastic
makes
job.
perfect sense.
Fantastic job.
That, that makes perfect sense. All right. Well, we are down to our very last article. Well, not article, news. That we would like to share with you all. So this one is not half as crazy as the one that you had just mentioned, but certainly something that I think all the RPG fans, in fact, no, all the fans are just really waiting. You guys been waiting for this one. So check this out. Konami. has released their roadmap for 2023.
Oh
Right?
man. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. So, they did the whole. Remember how we were talking about the what is it called? The IGC, the Indie Game Connect,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which is a
Hmm.
so to refresh everybody's memory, the IGC is the Indie Game Connect convention that Konami is hosting along with Sony. That will be free for attendees and free for exhibitionists. They'll bring in all the indie game developers and give them a platform to share their work for free to the public. Also bringing in veteran, sorry, like the game veterans in to host workshops to work with these indie developers. And we were wondering why Konami, of all people, of all companies, would be interested. I mean, Sony, it makes
Yeah.
sense. But now we know. Now we know. So check this out. So there are a good number of Konami IPs that are just beloved. Bloody Roar was announced through their latest report to shareholders that they're looking to revive. Bloody Roar. Do you remember Bloody Roar? It's this like fighting game from like the 2000s
The name
and so
sounds very
forth.
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, Bloody Roar. Like you'll fight in like a 3D arena, and you hit a button, and then they turn into like a beast person. You
Yeah.
fight some more. It was really cool, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Dance Dance Revolution is making a huge comeback.
Yeah.
Froggers, Gradius, a new
Ooh.
Silent Hill is coming for
Oh my God.
2023. Yes.
That is
Oh,
incredible. That they're
uh,
making all kinds of stuff here. That's great.
yeah.
Okay.
Vandal Hearts. Do you remember Vandal Hearts? It's like a tactical
Yeah.
RPG.
Uh-huh.
I guess they saw
That's
how
Konami?
well. That's Konami. Yeah, I guess they saw how well Triangle Strategy did. So they're like, you know what? We got ourselves a tactical RPG that we can bring back. So Vandal Hearts is coming out.
Hmm.
They're bringing back Zone of Enders, which is incredible because
Wow.
I loved the original Zone of Enders. And last but not
Yeah.
least,
Yeah.
Suikoden is coming back.
Oh no.
Suikoden is coming back, guys. Oh my god, Suikoden. We didn't think it would happen. Konami is bringing back Suikoden, guys.
Oh
Bringing back
man.
a new Suikoden.
Oh, this is
And
really gonna
yeah.
put a monkey in the wrench for
Oh
Eiyuden
yeah.
Chronicles, I think, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You know what? Maybe they saw. This is just my guess. Like I
Hmm.
think they saw the Kickstarter. They saw the writing on the wall. They saw that RPG's not dead, right? So
Yeah.
they're like, we could make money off of this, right?
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, Konami does they do follow the money.
Yeah, absolutely. So, according to this new shareholder report,
Hmm.
part of the reason why they're doing this indie game connect thing is so that they can meet these young, bright-eyed developers.
Yeah.
They want to bring in some new
Some
blood
fresh blood. Yeah.
into,
Yeah.
yeah, and to work on these exciting IPs. And I think it makes perfect sense. So it's sort of like a recruiting kind of thing for them.
Hmm.
Like they'll support their their IPs, but no, not IPs, their indie games, but also they want to kind of scout these folks to come in. And so I'm just super excited. I want to see what these folks can do with these existing IPs, just like new developers and like old beloved IP. You
Oh
put them
yeah.
together
Hmm.
and it makes perfect sense. So the new game platform will actually, as you would imagine from Konami, they'll all be pachinko machines, which is a little disappointing. But they said that they will sell home version of pachinko machines, so that you can
Okay.
play the new Suikoden. So yes, it is
Okay.
confirmed. The newest Suikoden will be on a pachinko machine. Was it Suikoden 6? Is it Suikoden
Uh-huh.
6 at this point?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So Suikoden 6 coming at you sometime in 2023 on pachinko. So I hope you guys, are gonna look forward to owning a new pachinko machine if you
Hmm.
want to play the newest Suikoden. In
Any
addition,
word of Pachi slot as well, or is it just straight up pachinko?
they didn't specify, but I think
Okay.
pachinko machine is sort of like an all-encompassing
Yeah.
term
It
for
could
any
be.
related pachinko technology.
Okay.
So I'm actually pretty excited because I know that Konami has been investing heavily into these next generation pachinko machines that
Yeah.
sports 8K display, And it's just incredible technology and
Oh man,
engineering that goes into each of these.
you
So
gotta
I'm just
respect it. Yeah.
yeah, you gotta. Now, so moreover to that, they're also looking to expand their NFT portfolio with these
Oh,
IPs.
thank God.
Yo,
Hmm.
yeah, no, because that's exactly what we need, just more NFTs. So,
Yeah.
but get this. So here's how it's going to work. Okay, these pachinko machines are going to be also part of a live service model. So get this, okay? And I do believe that this is the future of gaming, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so you get yourself a pachinko machine, okay? But you can never play single player on a pachinko machine. I mean, who plays single player games nowadays, anyways,
I
right?
mean, well, yeah.
The pachinko machine must be connected to the internet. Then you win the lobby, okay, and you gather all the other folks who are also playing the game. For
Hmm.
Suikoden, it's up to 108 characters at a
Oh,
time because, of
yeah.
course, Suikoden, right? 108. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Okay.
And all 108 people will play pachinko at the same time. And while you play the game, Konami will also log your gameplay and turn them into NFTs that you can
Oh,
then purchase with your in-game points that you get from playing the thing, and then
hey.
you can sell your top score to someone who might want to buy it in a form of NFT. So
Yeah.
everyone wins, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You
instead
know,
of mining, it will play pachinko,
it is
and
so
I
cool that they
that
have found
that
a
is
way to pay homage to the 108 Stars of Destiny and the
yeah.
original vision. That's so cool.
Yeah, no, I think they've really thought very hard on this one. And and the DDR one, I also thought DDR is interesting. DDR, they are basically releasing a brand new, never before seen pachinko machine where you have to play using the floor mat and dancing to the music.
Okay.
So yeah,
That's
no,
pretty
it's going to
cool.
be super challenging. Yeah, but and also live service. So again, you cannot play any of these by yourself.
Hmm.
Cannot. You have to connect to the
Of
internet.
course.
As it is with the way of the future. So I personally cannot wait to play the DDR because I got to shed some pounds. Like I've gained some COVID weight. But the
Haven't we all,
DDR
man?
pachinko. Yeah, no, DDR pachinko is going to be a game changer for people like me who are very like sedimentary, like we're not getting enough exercise, right? So
Yeah.
Konami has really thought it through and say, well, we've got the Ring Fit from Nintendo and that's a smash hit. What if we bring pachinko and DDR together and allow people to mine their own NFT so that they can then make extra bucks?
That is so
It's
cool.
just wow. I who could have thought that the future is right under our noses. All you have to do is put one and one together.
That's incredible.
It is
Wow.
incredible. Yeah, future of gaming.
Oh, man. That
Yeah.
this has been what an incredible set of news. And we just had to tell you all about it.
Yeah,
My
absolutely.
well,
Absolutely.
Baku, thank you so much for agreeing to doing this extra episode. I know it's not, our usual thing, but
Yeah.
man, it has been just mind blowing. So
Yeah.
if anybody out there has comments or questions that you'd like us to talk about in our next podcast, definitely leave them in the comments section down below,
Yeah.
and we'll talk about them then. But yeah, in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful April 1st, and we'll see you on Sunday. Have a great night, night. Have a great day, everybody.
Night, day, happy
Whatever it
time
is.
zone.
Where's the button? There it is. Should have used my knock and block.